Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode. Oh, it's going to be a pretty good episode of the Warhammer Meta Chasers. Your Warhammer Meta Chasers. We are chasing the meta, so you don't have to. I don't know, some version of we play so you can work, or we work so you can play. Whatever the mini wargaming one is. I'm joined by the illustrious, the effervescent, the beautiful and wonderful Dustin Henshaw. Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm a lot of things to you right now. It's amazing. Hi, buddy. How's it going? This is a massive show today too. We've got the biggest major of the year so far, I think.
Yeah, it'll be the biggest event of the edition so far, right? Was LVO
The
9th edition?
yeah.
Yeah, LVO was 9th edition. Yeah. So this would be the biggest,
absolutely.
Yeah, biggest event of the edition so far, and the biggest event post data slate as well. That is the London Grand Tournament. But the buck does not stop there. We also have the beautiful Crucible from Florida in the USA, where I think the entire Art of War house is out in force, including Richard Siegler for the first time. They dragged him out of his cave, kicking and screaming. And the Hanseatic Alliance Open from Heartland, Germany. Some WTC slobber knockers in a performance there. But unfortunately, one of our good men is not here, as you can see, replaced by Jack Nicholson from a few good men. Anyway, we are going to be here to break down your upcoming week of 40k goodness from the biggest and best tournaments in the world. If you not know what we do, we record this freaking show live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you can see, it is not that right here where I am. I'm on the other side of the world, and it is 11 a.m. ish in the great land down under. I'm in the bush. I'm on holiday.
That means cottage for everybody that doesn't live in Australia, guys. That means cottage, not a cottage.
Yeah, I'm in a little cottage.
When he said he's in the bush, I had many things go through my head, but cottage was not one of them originally.
Well, what do you call it in? Well, you're out in the forest.
A cottage. We're at a cottage.
You're in a cottage in the forest, or
no? We don't need to specify it because sometimes it's on a lake, sometimes it's in a forest. Like it's just a cottage.
What do you call your
generally? What do we call what?
Your wildernesses.
Forests.
Yeah, bush is so much cooler. I'm going out bush. So much cooler, mate. You got nothing.
It definitely means something. Okay. Yep. Bush it is.
Anyway. Whatever. Moving on. The London Grand Tournament is on. I think it's in London. We're pretty sure. We sent out our scouts to retrieve us the information. They said they think it's in London. They can't be 100% sure, but it is in London in the UK.
London adjacent at least.
553 players throwing down some 40k goodness there. Over 10 freaking rounds of slobber knocker 40k.
753?
Is that what I said?
You said 553.
753. That one.
Dude, 200 people.
I did. Don't worry about it. They're fine.
Don't worry about
They're having a good time.
Anyway. They're the bottom tables. Okay.
This is going to be a hellacious faction breakdown. Dustin, tell us what's going to be there.
The 10-round event. Okay, let's buckle up for this one because I want to see what this meta looks like over at London GT this year. So, Imperial Super Faction. There is an Imperial Agent.
It's actually Imperial Agents, by the way.
I
thought he was just having a laugh.
I have to posit this to make sure, like, it's a legit Imperial Agents. That
correct.
He was one of those 200 you forgot about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
12 Sisters of Battle, 45 Custodes, 12 Admech. Wow. 29 Astra Militarum, 34 Grey Knights, 18 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 41 Adeptus Astartes, 34 Dark Angels, 12 Space Wolves, 11 Blood Angels, 8 Death Watch, 23 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 47 Chaos Space Marines, 33 Thousand Suns, T-Suns, I was doing both. 27 Death Guard, 24 War Leaders, 26 Demons, 25 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 51 Necrons, 29 Orcs, 46 Tau, 22 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 38 Tyranids and 17 Genestealer Cult. Eldar, there's 15 Drukhari, and this is the London GT. We predicted it on the second part of the show. If you listen to that for the patrons, 72 Eldari. Which means the faction podium is, of course, Eldari, topping it off at 72, which, to be fair, out of 753 isn't
not
terrible.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. Necron's coming in second with 51. It's not even 10%. That's right.
Not even 10%. Pathetic.
Pathetic. Yeah, pathetic. Eldar, I can't win this. Necron's at 51 in second. The Chaos Space Marines in third with 47. Tau close behind them with 46 in fourth. And then Custodes, one more behind them in fifth with 45. That is actually an interesting spread that we're seeing on the podium this time around. Now, Necrons have been topping the podiums since the data slate. Then Chaos Space Marines been squeaking a little bit. Custodes still being in there. Tau squeaked in a few times too. It's it's interesting to see this many in representation of the Legend of Chi. What do you think about it?
It's a beautiful spread. After you get past the Eldari cliff, which is 21 more than the next, like,
Of
I mean, my
course.
eyes kind of twitching. It's how many Votan? It's almost the Votan amount of players between Eldari and Necrons between first and second. The entire, Votan representation almost between those two. So there is a huge freaking cliff. But after we get past that, the spread is actually kind of beautiful.
It is actually. It's really
It is
nice.
really, really nice. There's no more than 5 between the next couple. And even past that, even past Tau, I think it steps down nicely into the 39s. Adeptus Astartes with 41, 34 with Grey Knights. Yeah, Grey Knights having great representation. 34 with Dark Angels as well.
Yep.
Really, really, really nice. 38 with Tyranids would have been the next one. But
Yes.
very, very lovely. Very lovely little step down there. Not surprised by just about any of this. Chaos Space Marines definitely on the rise, as well as Necrons and Tau. They seem to be 3 factions that are all trying to rock, paper, scissors each other.
Better for them.
That's exactly right.
That said, though, I don't know if Warrior Bricks are the way to go into the Eldar match, just because
Yeah.
it's the better save that can help out, and I'm obviously referring to Lichguard. It was the
Yeah.
better save usually helped them out in that one, but was it enough? And like the higher toughness and -1 to wound kind of thing, like it helps with that. But Eldar do have like a mass. They've always been like I think it was the best strike 6 spam armor, right? So
Yes. Yeah. That's fair
do
to
they
say.
go that do they still go that direction though? Like I don't
Mm.
know if they do.
Well, so here's the thing, because I do think Warriors are pretty good. I think Lichguard is pretty good as well. But see, I think Lichguard are better, possibly better into things below Necrons, into the Chaos Space Marines and Tau at
Mhm.
times, depending on which archetype they're taking for those below. I mean, if it is just traditional, Control C, Control V, Forge Fiends, and Obliterators, which did get nerfed, Warriors are better. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Lichguard is better. Sorry, because
Yep.
they just got, you're not blasting with all your blast weapons, not getting huge amounts of more dice. But then I do believe the Warriors are better into Eldari for the time being. But the thing is, the Eldari do have pivots to make them better into Warriors. Things like some of the things we were going to be unpacking. Double and triple Night Spinners. Oh, you've got 2
Yeah.
blocks. Well, they're not advancing and they're -2 moves the entire freaking game. You are not
That is
pressuring
no good.
my primary as quickly. And then we're seeing some pivots into. There are some people in this event, and we haven't got any of their lists up, but there are double pack Wraithguard lists. One with D size, one with D cannons, and those D size are hellaciously terrifying for the 20 Necron Warriors.
Yeah.
Just
It's actually a good point to bring up
bleeds.
too, because you're talking about Night Spinners, and the next matchup that I was going to talk about is the Custodes one. Night Spinners are not, they might not kill the Custodes, but they will stop them from getting to the places they want to go a
Yeah.
lot of the time. So the Custode matchup got, ironically, better for Custodes in the sense that the devastating wounds, yes, they hurt them more, but they're not taking them as much. So
And
go ahead.
sorry, and with their units getting smaller, essentially every unit that was 10 is now 2x5 if you're going to take the
Yes,
same things. You can't slow a full 10 man with one activation from one unit.
exactly.
These things in
Exactly.
Night Spinners are cool. Well, you used to be able to slow 10 guys into character. Now you have to slow 5 guys into character, 5 guys into
Exactly.
character,
So
5
that's
guys
one
into
of the
character.
big things with
Yeah.
that one, because the matchup, while the Deadest did actually nerf Custodes and obviously Eldar, the matchup for Custodes kind of leaned better in their direction now because the devastating wound change, because of the smaller units that they're forced to take now. It's better for them to get around the Night Spinners. The Night Spinner, I don't know, not say spam, but the slowing down of that, and still not dying as much to some of the things that the Eldar would normally be able to bring. They have to rely on their Bright Lances and then failing some 4-up invulns instead of just saying, "Ha, take a bunch of devastating wounds," and you're just holding the
Yeah.
dice.
At events this big, I do actually like to look to our super faction stats just to see some trends, and it looks like chaos is reigning supreme in the London meta right now. I don't usually give much credence to this apart from the super majors. I usually just track these so I add up these at the end to find out how close I am to having every player's list represented. But at events this big, I like to look at it and just to see where the players are, like which super factions they're in.
I'm
And
actually interested in this Chaos Space Marines.
yes.
Like they've been on the rise lately, and there's actually a couple top players taking Chaos. Has it been figured out?
Well,
Has Marines been figured
almost.
out now?
Actually, let's ride that wave. Let's hit the transition over the first of the top
Okay,
players in
let's
attendance because three of the
bam.
three of the top players in attendance: Alexander Sacco, Inez Wilson, and Liam VSL. So that is one of the best players in Belgium. One of the best players. Where's Sacco from? Is it Spain? Anyway, Alexander
I
Sacco,
don't
one
want
of
to
the
get
best
it
players.
wrong, so I don't want to agree
One
with
of
you.
one of the best
Case is
players in
wrong.
Europe, and Inez Wilson, one of the best players in the UK, all taking Chaos Space Marines, and all very, very. This is almost the same list for all of them. Inez is a little bit different. I think he has a Warp Smith and some other little bits and pieces, but ostensibly the core of the list are exactly the same. It is their Slaves to Darkest Detachment, 3 Chaos Lords. There's no enhancements in this list, by the way. 10 Cultists, 2 Rhinos, 5/5/10 Chosen, exactly the same across all 3 top players. 2 Forge Fiends, 2x2 Obliterators, 2x5 Warp Talons, 3 Nurglings, the Blue Scribes, and Selesky. And that is the list that's been taken by 3 of the best players in the world, and definitely 3 of the best in attendance at this. So I'll be very surprised if one of these 3 gentlemen don't make a top 10, a top 5, and or a podium. What do you think of this list, mate? Because this, I mean, if all 3 of these gents are taking it, it's pretty close to being solved.
It should be, yeah. I think the Forge Fiends are definitely something that you want to have in there. I like the Forge Fiends. 2x2 Obliterators, that seems like the number. I feel like any more than that, and it's just overkill, and it's not. You're kind of like sinking points into things you don't need to. I think the 2x2 is actually the perfect number. 2x5 Warp Towns are great for what they're there for. 3 Chaos Lords is interesting to me.
Yeah, so one of them for each of the chosen squads. Naturally,
Yes.
they're going in the Rhinos. And people are. This was the direct pivot. As soon as the Terminators got hit, and Abaddon and the Terminator combo got hit in the balance, I said people, wait, the chosen. And he got, I think, a little bit ahead of the curve, and now everyone started to catch on. I think they're the right choice now. Yeah, I think they are the right choice now. But they
You've
are
chosen the chosen correctly. You've chosen wisely. Yes.
They are bullies. They punch up very well. 5 in the Chaos Lord punch up phenomenally well, and then the 10 is there as the bully unit, the pressure unit, the thing, a la the in the Rhino with the Chaos Lord.
Rhinos are protected from all that out of line of sight shooting.
Correct. You're not popping it with Night Spinners. You're not slowing it down very much, even if at all, from getting into a good mid-board position at a very minimum. You know, your unit of 6 Crisis Suits comes down, kills a Rhino, then dies. You know, it doesn't really. It works really well. The package is very tidy. I like it a lot. So Blue Scribes is next to loan up. Selesky is now the new Demon's pivot for what I'm hearing from a bunch of Chaos players. Do you know much about what she does?
Not in 10th edition, no. I saw her a lot in 8th and 9th, but I have not seen her in 10th at all. So I'm actually not sure. In fact, this might be the first time I've actually seen her in a list. Now she's in several.
Yes. I was going to try and control F her in my thing, and I realized I don't have any idea how to spell Selesky.
Oh, so what is put in there is it's just made up. You don't even.
No, it doesn't exist, mate. They're
doesn't exist. Okay.
Yeah, it's a ha moment from the Euros.
Great.
I'll circle back to it. Let's do the next
of
the list
of the Demon Codex.
Yeah, 100%. Next up player in attendance is Vic Vijay, who I think, if I remember correctly, won this thing last year. So definitely had to showcase what he was bringing, and he is one of those 72 players that are Eldari.
Vic.
You can't be disappointed with him. I mean, he is.
I know he knows what he's doing with it. He obviously is going to go what's the best because he's good with it and he wants to win. That makes sense. I'm sad.
Fair enough. I did just get to Selesky, so let's stop here for a minute. So
go back.
Move at 9, toughness 6, 9 wounds, 2 OC. She has Deep Strike innately, which is very nice, and of course the demons. While this model's leading unit each time, so 5s on a crit. And each time, the first time this model is destroyed, roll a d6 on a 2+. You set her back up. So she is a secondary points getter. A lot of people are doing the same. A lot of people are doing the same with the. Why do you ask me things that I need to open another document to check?
Why do I ask you questions you have and you need to know these answers? Like, you don't think I'm going to ask? I think every time you've brought up a data sheet, whenever you tell us the stats, I've asked you the points every single time, Adam. Like, come on.
Yes, I'm on the bleeding edge here, mate. Why don't you do some of this shit? No.
I actually have it open. I was ready to if I needed to.
She's 120 points. 4 toughness 6, 9 wounds, 4 up invulnerable save, gets back up on a 2+ after she dies. So you just deep strike her into your opponent's backfield, get teleport homers. Oh, cool, you killed her. Step back up, get teleport homers. Very, very nice little package, and she slaps. She's relatively good in combat for what she does. 6 attacks at 7-2-3, and then 6 more at 4-1-1. So I rate her very highly. I think she's an extremely good little package. People are doing the same thing with Iron Here champions in Votan now as well. Deep striking him in, letting him die, getting him back up, getting another bunch of secondary points. Back to Vic Vijay, though.
Now, I've got a question for the GSC players. Why haven't you guys been doing that with the Abominants?
The A-bombs. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Cheaper.
Well, yeah. Why haven't you been doing it, mate? Where are you?
I have. I'm asking them.
Mate, no, not on this show. I haven't read any of your...
You haven't read my list. That's right.
We do tend to dodge that nepotism on the
Yes.
show of doing
Of
our own
course.
lists when we're at events. But anyway, Vic Vijay, Eldari, Battle Host Attachment, Yin Khan, Autark Wayleaper with the Phoenix Gem, Fugan, which is exactly the same
Ooh.
thing. This is exactly the same thing as what Celeste does. He gets back up on a 2+.
That's right. So is this? Yep. Okay. I'm seeing a theme here, guys.
We're keying in when people are starting to play fixed a lot more. We're keying in on the things that make fixed reliable, and these are the first things people have gone to make that. So, a Farseer, Spirit Seer with Fate's Messenger, 10 Wraithguard, 2x5 Warp Spiders, 6 Shadow Specters, 3 Night Spinners. 3 Night Spinners.
Well, why not? Why not?
Because you're a toxic gamer. That's why not.
Oh, well, you're yeah.
Okay. I'm talking to Vic. I'm not talking to you, mate. You're good.
I know. I'm not taking 3 Night Spinners. I don't have, but if I had them, I would. Like if I had 3 Night Spinners in GSC, I would 100% take them.
I don't know if this is a British thing or a European thing, but I find 3 to be overkill. I would go with
2 is usually enough, I find. But I mean, we're just talking about the matchup that would be a problem in terms of custodes because they're going to be more MSU, and if you can do it to 3 units. Tau, that's right, actually.
Yeah, huge problem versus Tau.
Yeah.
Tau only usually have 3 relevant units, 2 units of crisis suits, 1 unit of broadside, and you're like, they're all movement negligible. That's it. That's cool. They're all movement nothing. See you later. Really locks down that. Same as Necrons. Usually they only have 2-3 relevant units. Bang, bang, bang. Lock them all down. And this is a thing that we talk about in part 2s as well. A lot of the lists have become killer and filler. As in, like, here's my absolute brutality 2 or 3 or 4 units. Some, arguably Eldar used to have it all and have like 3 or 4 really brutal units. And then here's my filler.
Units. So they have the Wraithguard, Shadow Specters.
Well, it used to
Incarn.
It used to
Actually,
be.
you know what?
Yeah,
I named them. You're good. We're good.
You did.
You're right.
You did.
You're on point. I'm just keeping you honest, Adam. That's all.
It's all right. And then it's filler. So you've got your 3 units, and then there's their associated support pieces, and then it is just nonsense to get the game played. And because of that, having 3 Night Spinners is just, well, your killer units are now filler units. Congratulations, they should just be sitting on objectives because they're not going to make it to me.
I do want to point out too, though, that because Fugan stands up, but the Autark Wayleaper with the Phoenix Gem also does.
Also stands up. Correct.
So
he's doubling down.
He's doubling down on that. You see the thing here? And guys, talking to the GSC players, our Abominants do that, and they're cheaper. I'm just saying, they deep strike, and they can deep strike within 3. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying.
I have a question for you. I don't know how this interaction works, and this is the first time I've even thought of it. If I YOLO'd the Autark Wayleaper into somebody, got it killed, can I chuck the Yin Khan over there and then get the Autark Wayleaper up on a 2+?
I'm pretty sure you can, but I would have to double check on that. Because it does count as death. You are removing the model, and it doesn't say anything about him coming back with the Incarn's like his ruling. I'm gonna read it right now. Actually, I'm open. I have the Eldar open right now. That was a lot of words to not get anywhere.
If you're not watching the podcast live, if you can't see my face just as he was saying that, just disgust.
Let me read the
why?
The Incarn so I can. Oh, of course.
Why are we like
why?
This? Why are we like this? Anyway, let's in previous fashion. I'll go on to the next list.
But I have it.
Oh, you got it. You ready to go?
I've got it. I'm ready to go, man. Come on. So once per phase, this model's on the battlefield, another unit is destroyed just after removing the last model in the units. So it is removed from the battlefield. So you can. I would say that you can. Because it is removed from the battlefield. It might be coming back, but it is removed, right?
Yeah, and the Phoenix Gem says the first time the bearer is destroyed, roll a 2+ and keep it to one side. At the end of the phase, set the bearer back up again close as possible. So yeah, at the end of the phase, so it is destroyed and removed from the table.
Yep.
You would 100%, I think.
100%. That's my ruling on it. Meta Chasers called it, so you can argue the judge now, guys.
Yeah, argue the judge. Rules
argue the judge. Meta Chasers said it's okay. It's bullshit, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely like revolting. Sick to my stomach.
It is revolting.
Anyway, the next player we're going to look to is Olivier Weiss, who was the captain of Team France at WTC this year. He's playing Adeptus Astartes, which is Raven Guard, but Raven Guard don't have their own index, so it is what it is. And the reason Olivier is one of the best players in France, and more than that, he's a guy I personally look at because he innovates on Space Marines like a freaking savant, like a maestro. He's constantly on the bleeding edge of Space Marine technology, and what can be done with the faction. He's got a Gladius task force with an Apothecary Biologus with Bolter Discipline, of course, because that is easily now that Desolators have been nuked, the Apothecary and the Aggressors is easily the best thing in Space Marines right now. But then he also has Strike, 3 units of Inceptors, unit of 6 and 2 units of 3. So he's gone for the big fat unit of Inceptors, with the Plasmas. They've all got Plasmas. He's got a Land Raider Redeemer, a single Land Speeder, 2x5 Sniper Scouts, 10 Vanguard Veterans, and just like Vic had 3 Night Spinners, he has 3 Whirlwinds. So this might be a trend in Europe that may catch fire across the world. But
super. Well, after LGT, man, if any of these come top 10, top 50, they're gonna be copied.
So just so you know, the absolute level of nonsense of like jank and nonsense in this list is phenomenal. I really highly rate Shrike, because he gives the unit loan up and the ability to be picked up and put down every turn. So go off the table, be placed back on the table, and then you're getting placed back on the table with loan up, and he's getting loan up to 10 Vanguard Veterans, which aren't great. They're not a great unit. They're not a phenomenal damage output
when they're
killing
loan
unit.
Up, they're amazing.
Well, exactly right. As soon as you give them loan up, and as soon as you are moving them and shifting them every single turn, they are pressure, they are intimidation, and they will gut any like objective holder on the table. And I'm assuming that's the thing they're there. They're there to pressure your primary. They're there to pressure your game scorers. The Aggressors and the 6 Inceptors and things like that are there to kill you. Mm-hmm. The Vanguard Veterans are there to piss you off and make you make mistakes. And I love it. I think this is a really good list, and would not be surprised to see Olivier do extremely well with it.
Yeah, 100%. I actually really like this. I love the Inceptors. I feel like they've been underutilized for what they do.
Yeah.
They're a unit that can do damage and do secondaries like ridiculously well. Innately being able to deep strike with just outside of 3 inches is completely underestimated by a lot of players, and I feel like you guys need to get on board with this.
I'm crossing all my fingers and all my toes that the Assault Intercessors with jump packs are good or relevant, because I don't love Vanguard Veterans, and I'd like, because as far as I can tell, if you could have a cheaper Vanguard Veteran, because essentially to do the things that unit is doing, it's just Shrike. Shrike's like doing 80% of that unit's work.
Hey, Vanguard vets had their time in the sun with white scars and 8th.
Yeah, I know. So if there was a cheaper option that applied the same amount of pressure, I would take it over the Vanguard Veterans.
Okay.
But anyway, I still think it's a
great Strike package. He can join the new Assault ones then, or I guess they'd have to fact that because it's not. They're
gonna have to fact it. But I mean,
there's no way the Strike wouldn't.
Exactly right. If you can't join them, what the hell?
What the hell are they there for?
What's the point? So at this point, we do pick a winner. And if you do not know what happens here, over in part 2, we discuss what won. We look back, and the part 2s come out usually about midweek next week. We have a look back at the events that we have covered, what was at the podium, what was in the top 10, and we break down one spicy list of that top 10. And then we see which one of us got the points for the week. Right now, it is a very close race. Only 1 point between first and second place. I won't tell you who it is. You have to go to part 2 to figure that out.
Right.
But I'll give you first pick on the London GT, mate. Paul is going to default to Astartes of any variety, so he gets Olivier, the lucky bum.
Oh, that's actually really good for him. Okay. Okay. I mean, if you're giving me first pick, I have to take.
You got to go Eldari, right? Yeah, Eldari. I think that's fair. I think that's pretty fair. I'm going to take the CSM then. Just with the players.
That's a perfect pick.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Well, hey, we picked the 3 lists. It's perfect circle. So that is it for the London GT. There will be coverage all weekend. Joe of War Games Live is at the London GT this week.
Is he? Oh, so awesome.
He is, man. Dude, what a year for Joe. He's doing the WTC, LGT, and he did LVO, and he's going to be doing next year's LVO. So he's got like the 2 biggest singles event in the world and the most important event in the world in the WTC. And he's just on cloud 9. King living for Joe.
Joe's the hero we needed. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you very, very much. We also appreciate everybody that's watching us live in the chat. Thank you for joining us. There's a lot of new folks in here, actually. Dorian, how's it going? Taryn, downvoting people. Artemis Steve. Patty Mick, long-time listener, first time live. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Glad you could do it this time.
Beautiful. All right, mate. Next up, we have Crucible from Orlando, Florida, USA. 86 players, 7 rounds. Give us that faction breakdown.
Let's have a look-see at the Imperial faction. There are 2 Systems of Battle, 3 Custodes, 2 Astra Militarum, 3 Grey Knights, 4 Imperial Knights, Space Marines, 2 Adeptus Astartes, 3 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 1 Blood Angel, 1 Death Watch, 6 Black Templars, completely outnumbering the rest of the Space Marines. Chaos, there's 7 Chaos Space Marines, 3 T-Suns, 2 World Eaters, 2 Demons, and 5 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 8 Necrons, 5 Orcs, 3 Tau, and 3 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 6 Tyranids and 1 Genestealer cult. Eldari, there's 12 Eldari. No real surprise there with this one. The faction podium being the Eldari at 12 in first, and then Necrons again in second with 8. The Chaos Space Marines in third with 7. We are starting to see a trend of the new meta, I think, at least in podium-wise.
Because that is exactly the same as the LGT. Eldar, Necrons, CSM. Exactly the same top 3. Could not be more. Yeah.
Percentage-wise, it's actually similar too.
Similar as well. It actually is. Yeah, hilarious. It is very similar. But yeah, this is very close to what I expect. Some interesting stuff there, like you said, the Black Templars being over and above almost as much as actually they are. Almost as much as every other Space Marine put together. There's 8 other Space Marines, there's 6 Black Templars. And I think that is just if it was me, it's a meta pick. Right now, I'm either playing Dark Angels or Black Templars if I'm going to a major. And that's simply because whether I think more boys is better than Terminators. That's essentially it. Either way, I'm probably going to have a Redeemer. Either way, I'm probably going to have a bunch of Space Marine wounds. It's just whether I want those wounds to be 2 wounds with a 5-up feel no pain or 4 wounds with a -1 damage. Albeit your Deathwing Terminator versus your Crusader squads and things like that.
Thank you for pointing that out to people, just in case they didn't know.
That
wasn't. Sorry, that might have sounded.
That did sound condescending.
That didn't mean to be condescending. I just realized that probably sounded condescending. That was a genuine thank you for that.
Beautiful.
That came out condescending. I didn't mean it to. It's whatever I talk to Adam, it's not my fault.
Good representation for Tyranids, good representation for Orcs, and good representation for Chaos Knights. Interesting to see that Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights are still holding at about tandem. What were they for LGT? 18 Imperial Knights LGT, that is pretty low, and 25 for Chaos Knights. Yeah, Chaos Knights pulling ahead, which is to be expected.
That's not too surprising. To be honest, with the numbers, that actually kind of lines up here. It's a little like Chaos Knights or Imperial Knights a little bit lower. It's close though. It's close. I like it.
So when we have a event of the size of the LGT, we will be breaking down 3 lists, sometimes even 4 lists, sometimes 5 lists, just to give you guys a real scope of something of this magnitude. For events that are 100 players or less, we usually do 2. In fact, I've only done 2 for the 200 player event as well, just for the sake of time. But I did do 3 for Crucible, because this player deserves a lol and a shout out. His name is Eric Schreiner.
Yeah,
Shriner?
I'm going with Shriner. Your name is Shriner.
He's playing Eldari, but it's Eldari Corsairs, mate. What a lol. He has put in a paragraph of just vitriol. I love it. In addition to his list. Now, I do adore opening up somebody's list and reading these things at times. Some people have YouTube links. Some people have to like songs, theme songs and stuff. I do love that stuff. One day someone's going to get me with a virus. Please don't do me with a virus. I think it's hilarious you kids talking shit about Uriel.
This is what it says there, by the way.
This is what it says, verbatim. You wouldn't say this shit to him at the store. He's jacked. Not only that, but he wears the freshest clothes, eats at the chillest restaurants, and hangs out with the hottest dudes. Y'all are pathetic, lol. Chef's kiss. Eric, I laughed my ass off. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be even better if he didn't even have Uriel in his list, but I think...
Yes, I know. And he didn't take him. He didn't take him. He was like... But he rocked up dressed as Uriel. Yeah, because he's not on his list. He is the list. He's like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Building the heart of the cards. Anyway, he's got his battle host attachment. Strap in. It gets better. He's got an Autark, Prince Uriel, the Vizark. I don't know why, because he's trash. Yvrain and a single Warlock. 6 units of Corsair Void Weavers and 10 Storm Guardians. And then 3 units of Corsair Void Guard. So the literal max amount of Corsairs you can take. And then 2 Skyweavers. That's his list.
That's amazing.
Mate, if you go through it 3 and 3, that's an event win. You should get an event.
Oh, absolutely.
Win if you go 3
he
and
definitely
3
should. Oh, Nick Curdy in the chat. Eric has the best display board. It's a full detail cutaway of Eldar fighting within a space log. Perfect. Get him to win something. Even if he doesn't win his games, he should win something. He should win beers. He should win a lot of things.
He's already a winner to us.
He's already a winner to us. Also, Vats, and I know why you're here, Val. We're not today, buddy. Not today. Not today.
We are going to do. We're going to do WMC.
Oh, we're doing it. Oh, 100% we're doing it. Adam and I are here. We're doing it.
Yeah. Well, more about that to come.
More about that to come. Yeah.
But this list is hilarious. Everybody, high five Eric if you're at this event. What a freaking champ!
There's a high five from us.
And a legend of the community.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Let's get back to the crunchies. Next up. So, as I said, every member of the Art of War house is here. Nanavati, Lennon, Harpster, Jackson, Siegler. This is the first
actually coming out again.
First 10th edition event that we have seen.
Wait. I'm not looking at it. I can predict. If you give me 3 chances, I can predict his list. I can do it.
Okay, go.
Not like the factions.
There's only 3 choices. Okay.
Is there?
Yeah.
No, there's more than 3. He's played more than 3. I could think of 4.
There's only 3. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Go for it. Okay. Well, I'll try to do it in order then. Tau.
Well, he's playing Tau. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna go Admech next, and then
he's pretty famous. He's pretty famous for one faction in particular that he's won all.
But
his
he
ITCs
did win LVO with Admech while they were underpowered. So
that's true. But he got to that position playing Tau. And then switched to Admech.
That's true. That's
like 3 or 4 months.
And Tau are they seem to be in a good spot now, right? At least
that's
right. A lot of Tau players thinking that.
All right.
If Siegler's doing it, well, they're on to something, you know.
Let's go to Siegler's list first, then. So this is Richard freaking Siegler's list.
Oh, we're skipping it. We're skipping over John.
Yeah, we'll go back to John.
Old news, Boy King. Old news.
No. None of that. You'll piss him off. This is Richard freaking Siegler, the only two-time ITC champion in the world. He's playing Tau Empire. He's got his Carrion detachment, Farsight, and Shadow Sun, which is. I'm trying to figure out why. But anyway, 2 Cold Star Commanders, 1 Exemplar of the Carrion, 1 with Precision of the Hunter, 6/6/3 Crisis Suits, 2 Ghost Kills, a single Piranha, 2x3 Stealth Suits, and 2x2 Tetras. Very tidy package.
So you remember like what we talked about last episode with the Tau, what the package, like the tight little package seems to be, the Ghost Kills and the Stealth Suits, and even at least 1 Piranha seem to be part of all the packages now, like part of that core.
Well, and some at minimum two Crisis Suit units. So sometimes it's 6/6, sometimes it's 6/3.
That's true. Yeah. So
usually the other points are in 3 broadsides, but
that's true. Yes. Okay. So either the Crisis Suit squad or broadsides. Okay.
Yeah. So he's removed the broadsides, chucked in more Crisis Suits. So he is literally the Crisis Suit list.
I think I like the Crisis Suits better just because they have more mobility and they just have more options.
Yep, I totally agree with that. He's still got a little bit of nonsense. Like 2 Ghost Kills are very frustrating to deal with. They are high durability with stealth, with lone up. Like it's very rare to have a lone up monster / vehicle, high toughness target. So they're pretty frustrating to deal with. A single Piranha, I mean, I'm assuming he would have loved to have more Piranhas, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. 2x3 Stealth Suits for enablers, getting up to board early, and the Tetra is giving you all the juicy rerolls and marker lights. I think are pretty by the by. I'm still trying to figure out what Farsight and Shadow Sun do. I haven't had a chance to sit down and unpack what they add to this army, but taking both is something that I'm starting to see done more and more. So it's Richard freaking Siegler. He's onto it. He knows what he's doing. So this could be a very strong contender for this event.
Yeah, that is that would be a pretty solid pick. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you'd be picking mostly. Oh no, Florida's got a couple other Tau players. Never mind. Tau is actually a good, strong pick to win this for sure. Then.
Agreed. Okay, next we have John Lennon, and he's playing Tyranids, mate. So this is your breakdown.
Of course, Synaptic Nexus. Yes, John, I love it. All right, Death Leaper, a Hive Tyrant with Synaptic Control, Neuro Tyrant with Power of the Hive Mind, because you definitely take that. That's the increase of the strength of the Flamer, so the Flamer becomes really scary. 2x10 Gargoyles, a single Biovore is all you need. 3 X screens, 2 Maliceptors, 3 Neural Lictors, of course, 2x1 Pyrovores, and 6 and 3 Zoanthropes, because this is Synaptic Nexus, so they are devastating.
Jacked.
They are jacked.
What does Synaptic Control, so Synaptic Nexus, offer to this list, apart over and above the Invasion Swarm, or Invasion, whatever?
The Synaptic Control, I have to remember which one that one is. I know that the Power of the Hive Mind has to be.
Oh, no, I mean Synaptic Nexus. Sorry, what does this detachment offer over the index one? Sorry, mate.
So, okay, the index one, the main thing that you're losing the 5 up, feel no pain on any of your units, which does hurt for durability-wise, but this list doesn't really worry about that too much. That's the big one. And like the regioning of the hordes, and you lose the the choice of your attacks with lethal on vehicles and monsters, sustained against swarms and infantry, and or precision on like your weapons in general. That's like you choose one of those every turn. You lose those. Those are the big things you lose. A couple other strats in there, but the most that you gain from Synaptic Nexus, because you're gonna have the option to give like reroll ones to hit to basically anything because they'll be within Synapse. You could often get reroll ones to wound as well, which again, that's where the zoanthropes now become much more reliable, because if rerolling one, that was one of the big things, rerolling ones to hit, so you could usually get from exocrines, but now they don't need an exocrine to shoot at the first. They can actually just use the strat to do that, and it's an aura too, so use it on the synapse, and now everything around there is can just reroll, because why not? It makes zoanthropes and just the shooting in general, and even close combat, because they do have other options too, just so much stronger. You have the option of giving like a 5-up invuln across the army at one turn. I think I've said this before, the Synaptic Nexus is, in my opinion, the best attachment for getting big scores, like winning, because it does a lot of damage. I don't say it's I think there's a better one for teams. Which one you could probably get? Which one?
This one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but this one is I can kill you, or I can win. So he has all the pieces he needs for missions, because Tyranids have some of the best pieces for missions with the Bilevore and the Neurolictors. They're just incredible. Yep. They're just they're so good.
The Bilevore is still so busted.
The Bilevore is so busted. Why can spores do actions? Just why?
Yeah. Well, do you think a spore mine could get a job, like rock up at like a KFC or a McDonald's?
Well, GW thinks they can.
Exactly right. I was about to say, G-Dub thinks they can. G-Dub believes in spore mines. They are spore mine stands.
I want to see some. I want to see some spore mine voting paper, like voting poster. Yeah. Like, vote for spore mines for president. Vote for spore mine.
What are you gonna pick, mate? So I'll take first pick here.
You take first pick.
Ooh, this is up.
Because whatever one you pick, I'm picking the other one.
So Jack's playing Black Templars.
That's also a good one.
And Quinton's playing Eldar.
Those are all good picks.
And Nick's playing CSM.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. Damn. You're damn.
That actually makes it pretty hard. But there's two that I have in mind.
You're not going to feel bad. I'm Rich. I'm picking Tao.
You would. I have to back John.
You have to back John. I knew you did. I didn't even go to write Tyranids. I wrote John.
Yes, that's fair.
Fair. All right, man. We have one more event to cover for your Warhammer Meta Chasing Thursdays. What do we got? We had the Hanseatic Alliance open from Bremen, Germany. 215 freaking players, 6 rounds. So if you plus these two events together, the 2 European events, actually, are we allowed to call? Are the British going to get angry if we call them Europeans? Post Brexit, I don't know. I don't care. Almost 1,000 players on the continent.
They're all close to London right now. Anyway, right?
Everything's close to London, mate.
Yeah.
But dishonorable mention to the Hanseatic Alliance Open.
Guys.
First dishonorable mention of 10th edition. 27 of 215 players did not list their faction. Hashtag get with the freaking program in Germany. Thank you very much. Because that added like about half an hour to me doing this event. I almost didn't do this event because I was just like, never heard of you. Get out of here. List your factions.
A lot of you.
But anyway, we did it anyway. Give us the faction breakdowns, mate.
All right, so the Imperial Super faction, there are 2 Sisters of Battle, 12 Custodes, 2 Admech, 7 Astra Militarum, 15 Grey Knights, and 6 Imperial Knights. Space Marines are 10 Adeptus Astartes, 7 Dark Angels, 5 Space Wolves, 1 Death Watch, 3 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 9 Chaos Space Marines, 13 T-Suns, 12 Death Guard, 4 War Leaders, 6 Demons, and 13 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 12 Necrons, 12 Orcs, 11 Tau, 7 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 12 Tyranids, 3 Gene Stealer cults. Eldari, there's 2 Drukhari and 21 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is once again Eldari, topping it off with 21, but Grey Knights is second with this one with 15. And then T-Suns, Chaos Knights tied in third with 13. And then Nids, Orcs, Necrons, Death Guard, Custodes in fourth with 12. Tau following close behind that in fifth with 11. This, again, aside from the Eldari, is a fantastic spread.
Grey Knights, what the hell? I looked at a bunch of their lists. nothing was. So the one I pulled out is the one where I was like, yeah, okay, I guess that's very straight up and down. All the others was, we had some Dread Knights, some Terminators, some Paladins. It was pretty by the by, but I just don't know why there's so many Grey Knights in Germany. Someone up in that region is gonna have to tell me. I associate Grey Knights a lot with Scandinavia. In fact, a lot of the the games of Westeros and some of the bigger events over there
That's right. Yep.
had a big Grey Knight representation, especially in 9th edition. Like they had early days, they had like freaking Grey Knight Storm Ravens winning majors and stuff. But 15 here, first time I think we've seen Grey Knights on the podium, possibly in the edition.
That's true. Actually, no, I think we've seen them once before, but they're actually they have like a lot of secret sauce in them, and I feel like they have play into the meta. They're just you'd think that they'd be a point, not a point and click, but a fairly easy army to run, but they're not to do well with. But they do have play.
Yeah.
They absolutely have play, and I think we've seen that before too. I do want to point out too that if you look at like the percentage representation across these events, it's very similar. There are a couple differences, like the Black Templars are a little overrepresented in Florida right now, but honestly, I think that's really the only one that's kind of wonked. Well, and then the Imperial Age is kind of showing, yeah, wonked. It's like a bush, but you hit it. The agents are the only thing that kind of showed up elsewhere that really threw me. But in terms of representation, the percentage wise, it's actually pretty similar. So I think the meta is at least settling right now until Marines hit, and then all hell breaks loose again. But
yeah,
until then,
well, so exactly right. I've just actually jumped onto BCP. I'm looking at a bunch of the Grey Knight lists just holistically. Yeah, we've got some 10-man Terminators. Every list just has a bunch of Terminators. Some lists have the 10 Paladins. Some lists have no Paladins. Some have some there's 5 Interceptors in this list with 5 strikes. Like people are just kind of, yeah, people are just kind of throwing it at the wall a bit after they get past their, their first couple of things being librarians and 5-man Terminator squads. We've got some chaplains. We've got some regular Grand Masters. Yeah, 5 termies, 5 termies, 5 termies, 5 termies, 5 interceptors, 5 purifiers, Callous Assassin, Inquisitor, Henchman. Like it's pretty straight up and down. So let's get into that first one. This is Martin Nguyen. Grey Knights. It demonstrates kind of. I think Grey Knight players are just enjoying having like 2 more squads in their army, and they're just like, yeah, that's all they've done so far. There are some really cool things that I've seen people doing though with like Castellan Pro and Purifiers that combo can really pop off and can be a real huge help against things like Necrons, things like some of the swarmy elements that might be coming into the meta just around the corner, Cursed Cultists and Nids and shit. But Teleport Strike Force, he's got a single Brotherhood champion, 2 chaplains, 3 libbies, 5 units of 5 Terminators, a unit of 5 and a unit of 10 strikes. For the life of me, the 10 strikes is a head scratcher because I'm guessing they get the Brotherhood champion, but I don't quite understand that unit.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like the MSU Terminators. I like that better than the bigger squad.
I adore it. I actually like it. Like, so in a perfect world, you get 10 Paladins with some associated buffs because that's like the shooting. That's the shooting.
Yeah.
Of the army. And they pop off and they do okay and they do a bunch of stuff. And then the rest, I just want like 3 to 5 termies with 3 librarians, and just to jump around, jump up, and get down, be a nuisance, be frustrating, be all this good stuff. It is interesting to see the Brotherhood champ. Like I said, I'm just actually scrolling down to it right now.
The Brotherhood champ doesn't surprise me. The 10 strikes is what surprises me, and obviously,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure the Brotherhood champ goes with those 10 strikes, right? So like,
it does. It can only go with either the small or the big strikes. Gives the unit fights first, which is kind of cute, kind of awesome. And each time it makes a melee attack, it targets a character, reroll the hit roll, reroll the win roll. So it's good in combat into other characters. And of course, you give that guy precision when you make it in there, and he kills out the characters for you.
Okay, so this actually is not a bad army, not a bad unit to hold an objective behind a wall, because it's kind of, I would say, protected from close combat units, since it'll fight first and it'll be able to snipe out any characters or take out any buffs or whatnot. It's interesting tech. I don't mind it.
Well, a strike goes in with 3 attacks at 6/2/2, and they get sticky objectives. They have Scout 6 as well. So You scout them up, hold some board objectives turn 1, and then just sit in a pressure position behind a wall. And then if people pressure you with something you can't kill, just pick them up, move them elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't mind this.
All
You
that
know
good
what?
stuff.
You know, Martin, bravo. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy with that.
Flights first is pretty dangerous.
It is
you're coming
dangerous,
in.
especially with like you look at strikes. Oh, they just died and stuff. It's like, yeah, but if they kill you first, doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah. They're still all got 2 wounds with a 2+ armor save.
Yeah.
Like it's not nothing. Anyway,
They don't have a 2+ armor save, do they?
They do. Everything.
Really?
Everything in Grey Knights has a 2+.
Strikes don't have a 2 up. You're lying to me.
Strikes have a 2+. Purifiers have a 2+. Perks
Are you
have a 2+.
freaking kidding me?
Only servitors do, and rhinos don't have a 2+ armor save in this book.
You lied to me.
No, not lying.
I need to look at this. I don't believe you. I should look at this right now.
Go check it. All right, next list is.
Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my god.
Yeah. Valentin
Okay.
Schefter.
You know what? I love these strikes now. Now I'm really down.
You're down.
I thought they were 3 up still.
Yeah. I think it's cute. I think 10 strikes with the champion. I'm starting to come around to it. Valentin Schefter is next up. Played for WTC for Team Germany this last year, just gone. He's played Necrons, and it's been a while. I really wanted to see and check in with Necrons, and I want to just point out that Valentin is spending a phenomenal amount of points on characters.
Wow.
His Awakened Dynasty detachment has a Command Barge, a Hexmarks, Luminor Caesaris, a Locust Lord with the Veil of Darkness, Orokin the Diviner, a Royal Warden with a Hypermaterial Aberrator, a Technomancer, and the Catan with a Subthermal Weave. So, just there, that is like half his list in points. Then he has 2x20 Warriors,
a Ghost Ark, he has that.
a Ghost Ark, a Reanimator, 2x2 Crypt Thralls, a single regular destroyer and a unit of 3 heavy destroyers, which go with the Locust Lord and get jumped around. But essentially, this list is 20 warriors, 2x20 warriors with associated support, and then characters. That's the list. And so this is both what I think is amazing about Necrons and also what is a problem with Necrons. This list in teams is a weapon.
Yes.
It's an absolute weapon. It's terrifying. A little bit of pairings nuance and a little bit of pairings protection. This thing will just bring you back 20s. But in the open field, I do worry about it. Because essentially, if your opponent is good into warriors, this list does nothing. There's nothing else in this list apart from a freaking Catan. That's it.
That Catan is not nothing. Let's be real.
Yeah, but I mean, so I have been both impressed and not impressed by the Catan because ostensibly it doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it's not going to die. So it's up to the player to make it worth it. If it's going to be there for 5 turns, unless you're playing against Tau and some other armies there, they can just go dead. See you later. It's going to be there for 5 turns. So if it's used well, it can impress. If it's used poorly, it brings something else. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, you definitely have to use it right. Like it's not like I'll just put this wherever I want. It's going to survive the whole game and get points from me. You still have to use it right to do that. Now, I want to know what's your opinion on either the 2x20 warrior bricks or 1x20 and 1 Lich Guard brick or 2 Lich Guard bricks.
On the Lich Guard and the warriors, I think it's both.
One of
if
each,
you want,
I think it is too.
If I'm playing in singles, I want one of each, 100%.
100%. That's we should actually say that too, because team lists are different. Like Adam said, as a team list, this list is a weapon.
Well, Liam Hackett took this list to the teams and was 20ing Eldar with a similar list to this. Essentially, it's a very similar list to this, except he had the Nightbring in it in addition to the Transcendent Catan. So he had double Catan, double 20 warriors, and he was 20ing Eldar players at the WTC with this. That's what this list can
is
do.
No easy feat.
No, and so this is an archetype that can go all the way, and I do think in teams it is a ubiquitous mix into every. If you got a Necron player, you're like, sorry mate, here is your list. Thanks, welcome to the team. You just give them the list upon entry into the team. But yeah, I think I prefer personally the 10 Lich Guard, the 10 and the 10 Warriors if I was going to be playing in a big singles meta like this. Just because I know from in my every list that I'm building, I need an answer to Warriors in it. And so,
that's fair,
and that's a thing that is not unique to me. It's every
absolutely not.
Player.
Everybody's doing that. You have to, because Necron. Well, you've seen it. Necrons are very heavily represented in the meta right now, so you do need an answer for Warriors, and you should prepare an answer for Lich Guard, because in singles, I feel like you should have one of each, like we were just talking about. But Warriors for sure, because they are everywhere.
What's really fascinating is that all the attention we were giving to GSC has just pivoted directly to Necrons.
Yep.
So everyone
happen.
was like, we can't beat Eldar, so let's just absolutely beat the brakes off GSC. As a,
Yep.
as a freaking community, we all just decided
Yeah.
that. We
Yeah.
all homogenized into, all right,
It's true.
Eldar's too good. Let's spank GSC. Let's take all the fun out of GSC. And now all that energy has just been like, because we figured out GSC. Everyone had the tech built into GSC. In fact, there's still a little bit in this list as well with the hex marks and some other
Yep.
bits and pieces. And that's all been like, bang, Necrons. It's been really interesting to see, because what we want to do is for that to go to Eldar. Please, everybody, just same thing, Eldar. Let's all just together crack Eldar and make them piss off. That would be fantastic.
Let's do it.
Let's
I think
do
we
it.
should all do
All
it.
right,
Let's do it.
Paul Astartes, once again, you can have first pick on this one. It's crap. This was a crap.
This is a crapshoot.
Pick an Eldar. Let's. I don't know. You can totally pick Eldar.
Might I look at some of the names in here?
There is a lot of WTC
That's what I was wondering.
Surrounding lads, and they're all taking what. So the only Valentin is the only one whose list I thought was worth unpacking. All the rest are taking pretty known stuff. There's actually one of the German WTC lads who's playing Admech, but his list was. I don't want to say boring, but it was going to be very boring to explain next to the Grey Knight one, which I'd already done. Because his one is, I'm pretty sure it's 6 units of Vanguard, 6 units of Warriors, some Service Raiders, Sky Stalkers, and 2 units of Breaches. That's just the list. That's it, the whole thing. I just told you the whole thing.
Wow. Okay, well, I mean, you kind of pretty much narrowed it down for me then. But you know what? I'm going to go with these Necrons. I like this Necron list.
I like this Necron.
I believe, as much as it is a teams list, it has all the tools it needs to win singles as well.
I'm not gonna. A part of me thinks if I'm gonna pick Grey Knights, I'm gonna pick Grey. Actually, I'm gonna pick Grey Knights. Stuff it.
Ooh.
Just when else am I gonna do it? Right. I'm gonna back courage in my convictions.
Those 10 strikes are gonna win this for you.
Do 10 strikes kill? 10 strikes do not kill 20 warriors. Not even close.
No.
Not even close. If they kill 10, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, well, not including what's 10 back.
Damage. They are 10 damage. They are 2 damage though. But then you got the invuln, the hitting and wounding. So you hit on 3s, you got strikes first. You hit on 3s, wounding on 3s. There's no rerolls to speak of that I think you can apply there. With 30 attacks, he doesn't kill 10. Doesn't even kill 10. Yeah, no way. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he's hunting with that unit of 10. Maybe it is just a pressure piece. There's got to be other things. I mean, yeah, all coming back. All right, mate. That brings us to the end of the breakdown segment of the list and the event breakdown segment. Now we're going to do a little bit of our palate cleanser. We got our Fuego segment coming up. If you do not know what this is, production puts a number of minutes up. We're just going to go with 1 minute, seeing as only the two of us up on the clock. And then we've got a range of questions that could be anything, absolutely unrelated. We have had some fantastic ones recently of like which movie is better, Star Wars franchise versus Marvel franchise, stuff like that. Really kind of fun stuff to discuss. And there is some philosophical stuff. We, talk about the balanced data slate stuff, questions, who's the biggest winner, who's the biggest loser. And if you want to be involved in deciding what we do in this segment, go over to our Patreon, sign up to our top tier. You can tell us the absolute nonsense you want us to discuss on this much renowned podcast. And you can see us tap dance for us, Monkey Boys, and we shall. You can find that over at Warhammer Meta Chasers. The link should be all over your screen as you see it right now. But all right, let's hit that Fuego.
Do it up.
All right. I don't know what the questions are. Let's hit that timer.
I'm going to do it. Okay, I can tell you. This is horror themed. So, It versus Slender Man.
I mean, man. It's got to be. I mean, Slender Man is pretty. I don't know how well known Slender Man is, but it's essentially just a tall boy in the woods, right?
Yeah, but it is.
Like, what is
does
the
it
premise?
Actually like do anything?
It eats children. Like once every couple of years, he comes down, eats a bunch of kids, and goes back to sleep.
Like, I mean, he goes after children. Doesn't that make him kind of a wussy?
It really does.
But picks on kids.
It's explained that they taste better. Like lamb and mutton, baby. Like
lamb. Wow, we're getting. I mean, just I think its main thing is he scares people, and Slenderman doesn't scare. So I say Slenderman.
Well, yeah, Slenderman just kind of stalks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's it. Anyway, Fuego.
Oh, okay. Next up, we got Cletus Cassidy, who's Carnage, versus the Joker.
Carnage? As in from Spider-Man?
Like Spider-Man, yeah.
Ooh.
Now, okay, in a straight up fight, obviously, Carnage kind of wins that, but
I mean, it has to be the Joker, right?
It has to
be
Joker.
Joker is one of the greatest villains in any genre of all time.
The Joker is one of the villains that actually takes down Superman in some like story.
Yeah, dude.
Story arcs.
He broke Superman. Superman's mind.
Like actually breaks his mind.
That's such a good story.
It is a good story.
It's
really depressing to watch it.
It's so good. And Superman puts his fist through Joker's chest. It's just like enough.
Yeah.
Straight on through to the other side. Why didn't you do this 30 years ago, Batman? Or some crap. Okay. So I do think that Carnage is better than Jared Leto's Joker.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I'll agree with that for sure. But every other Joker beats him. Even the original like Batman for Adam West Joker. All right, next one. Jigsaw versus the Riddler. Ooh, that's a good one.
This is really good. They're kind of the... Holy shit, I've never noticed this, but they're kind of the same person. One has to live by the PG and M ratings, and one gets to live by the R rating, right?
Oh, the Riddler's got some... The Riddler's got... I feel like if he was in R-rated, he'd be able to do worse than Saw. I think he'd be... Jigsaw. I think he'd be better than Jigsaw. I think the Riddler overall is smarter. In fact, I know the Riddler overall is smarter. Yeah, I'm going with the Riddler.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jigsaw. So the thing I like about Jigsaw a lot, is he's a town planner. If you look at the sheer amount of like of land he needs to own in order to pull off the crazy like warehouse-sized traps and crap he has, this guy is like he's got like industrial city blocks at his disposal. That guy's got an empire. I'm going to back him.
Okay.
He's a real estate mogul.
All right, next one. Patrick Bateman versus Norman Bates.
Which one's Norman Bates is Psycho? Which one's Patrick Bateman?
Which one is Patrick Bateman?
American Psycho. Oh, this is a good one. This is very good. I mean, isn't the whole premise of the Patrick Bateman one, he didn't actually do all that stuff, but he was just enough of a psycho that he could vicariously in his head do it? Whereas we know Norman Bates stabbed a bunch of people.
Yeah, but...
So we 100% know the Norman Bates character has killed, and whether Patrick Bateman has killed.
It's not even that. I feel like Patrick Bateman wins this just because I feel like he's capable of more, even if he didn't do it, which again we don't really know for sure. I just think he's capable of more. Norman Bates kind of... I'm going with Bateman on this.
I'll go with Bates. We're 50-50 on it. That's fair.
Okay. I don't think we've agreed on any of these, Adam. What the hell?
We agreed on the Joker, for sure.
The Joker, right. Well, that was
we agreed on the Joker. It was easy.
All right, last but not least, Hannibal Lecter versus Dexter Morgan. Okay.
I think we're going to be easy on this one. Hannibal
this one should be easy. If it's not easy, Adam, we're going to have words. So.
Yeah. Hannibal freaking Lecter, one of the greatest cinema villains.
I was really worried you were actually going to say Dexter.
in terms of complexity of character, overall intelligence,
ridiculously well written as a character.
And you think about how Hannibal Lecter kills and eats and dismembers people, and then Dexter's just like, I'm going to tie you down and just cut you a little bit. There's levels.
If you haven't actually seen like the Hannibal, I think it's Netflix series.
It's really good.
It is like it's graphic, so don't watch it if you have a weak stomach. But Hannibal Lecter is portrayed perfectly in that series. It is actually fantastic.
I love. So Silence of the Lambs had what? Did it have 10 minutes of Hannibal Lecter in it? Did it have 20 minutes of Hannibal Lecter in it?
Yeah.
And it's his movie.
It's his movie. 100%.
It's his movie. Yeah.
It is.
It's ridiculous.
There's no competition between those two. Sorry, Dexter. You were against Mike Tyson in that one.
Okay. That is the
That
end
is
of
the
our
show.
show. Please, please, please make sure you absorb some of the LGT goodness through your skin by listening and paying attention to War Games Live this weekend. One lovely Joe, support him in what he does. He's a great proponent of what we're doing. He's traveling all over the world to make sure we get the biggest and the best coverage of the biggest and the best events. So hope you guys have enjoyed that episode very much. We had 3 Slobberknocker events. Please join us over for part 2 over and out, the second tier of our Patreon. And hopefully you will join us there. We really appreciate all your support. Dustin, anything to say before you check out?
Thanks everybody for joining in, and make sure that you tune in to London GT, because with Joe streaming it, that is going to be one hell of a show.
Jack Nicholson, can we handle the truth yet? No, fair enough, mate. All right, see you later.
Oh, I looked the wrong way. I suck.
Yeah, I looked the wrong way initially too. I had to think about it.